Hi everyone, I'm Assemblywoman Wendy Carrillo, proudly representing the 51st Assembly District, and I'm here with our California Legislative Women's Caucus Woman of the Year for 2022, Director of our LA County Department of Public Health, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, who we are honoring today as the woman behind the mask. Who is Dr. Ferrer, and what does she dedicate her life to, and what does she love outside of the work that she does every day to save lives? So I'm so excited to get an opportunity to talk to you.
I think first I want to just thank you so much, Assemblymember Carrillo, and I want to thank all the residents. You know, we've been in this together for a very long time. I am deeply honored to get this award, and I feel like I get it on behalf of all of the people who have been struggling so hard for over 2 years to really make sense of how we can support each other and care for each other during a pandemic. And I think what I take away from the last 2 years is how interconnected we all are, and how much we have to really understand our obligations and responsibility to in fact be there for each other by taking care of each other. I think for some of us, you know, our cultural heritage makes this an easier task. And you know, we're used to being in networks of people who all have to be doing okay for us to feel good about ourselves. And I think for others it's been a lot harder to really understand how important it is to protect essential workers, to protect people who are working at hospitals by doing everything we can to not get infected. But I know that so many residents and workers here in LA County really stepped up and did amazing things to take care of each other. I know we don't hear all their stories, but I hear some of their stories. And I'm always really impressed by how much grace people have shown up with and how much compassion and kindness.
Well, Latina, Puerto Riqueña, proud Angelino, proud resident of Echo Park,
yes,
which is where we are at a small business right here at Reggie's Deli, where we also have our office, enjoying a good little cup of cafecito, and wanted really to just take a moment to get to know you. The last 2 years have been critical for so many people. You oversee a department that really cares for what? How many residents in LA County alone?
Well, there's 10.3 million residents.
10.3 million residents. And when COVID started, we didn't know what it was. We didn't have the PPE. Remember those days?
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget.
You were constantly on television warning us. What were those early days like?
I mean, I think the early days were frightening because we really had so little information, and we weren't well positioned to be able to respond appropriately. I mean, I know we all remember not being able to get tested. Right. You only could get tested, frankly, at the beginning if you were in the hospital. And then we started learning, you know, quickly that asymptomatic people spread this virus. You know, whereas at the very beginning, we heard over and over, like, don't worry about not getting tested because, you know, if you have symptoms, then you can just assume you have it and then you can stay away from people. And then we find out that like 50% of people might not have symptoms. And that was when we needed masks. And remember, we couldn't wear respirator masks at the beginning because we didn't even have enough for the people in our healthcare industry.
Right. Frontline and essential workers were recycling.
And frontline and essential workers weren't actually, if they weren't in the healthcare industry, they had almost no protections. You know,
right.
So, you know, I remember, you know, how many people told me how relieved they were because they could just go home and work from home. And I remember talking to people at the grocery store who were scared because they couldn't work from home. And there was so much uncertainty about how much risk there was. And in fact, now we know that it was those workers who came in every single day, kept our stores open, kept our factories open, kept manufacturing open, kept the ports open, that disproportionately ended up getting sick.
Right. Our trash was still getting picked up.
Absolutely.
The lights were still working. Farm
we
workers.
Had water.
We had water.
Food.
Farm workers, amid California wildfires, amid COVID, amid extreme heat, were still working. They fed not only California families, but they fed America.
Around the world.
And around the world.
Around the world. And we owe our essential workers a huge debt of gratitude. And I think it's not enough to say thank you. The debt of gratitude is got to be paid by protecting them, even now. You know, people ask me, like, why do I say we should still wear our masks? Mm-hmm. And, you know, first of all, yesterday we reported over 1,000 new cases, which means there's a fair amount of transmission. But when you walk into that store, or you go to work at a factory, or even a large office where people are working in cubicles, you're surrounded by other people that are showing up who may in fact be at elevated risk should they get infected. It's no big deal to keep this mask on, frankly. It doesn't interfere with how we do work, but it does afford a lot of protection to people who have to show up every single day to keep us all able to, as you noted, have food on our table, have gas, be able to go and do the things that we all need to do and want to do.
Over 1.4 million people in LA County were tested positive for COVID in the last 2 years, and your advice, your, I think, constant reassurance of us being able to get testing, get the vaccine, get the second dose, get the booster, I think played a big role in saving lives. Do you reflect on that and the role that you had?
I think one of the best things we were able to do, and this is like the power of LA, you know, El Condado, this is a powerful place to be in a pandemic, was we have engaged a lot of partners. We could never have vaccinated over 8 million people in this short a period of time if we didn't have all these partners. We have over 1,000 fixed vaccination sites open where people can go during the day and the evenings, on the weekends, to get vaccinated. We have 700 mobile teams that are out every week offering vaccines, sort of pop up at schools, at community events. That's not just the health department. You know, that is this amazing network of providers, community health workers, promotoras, that are all really out there trying to make sure people have good information and then very easy access to testing, vaccines, and now, of course, the new therapeutics.
So when you're not saving lives, Dr. Ferrer, if this was any other time outside this exceptional time that we've lived for the past 2 years amid a global pandemic, what are you doing?
Well, you know, I love to be outside. Everybody knows that's why I love LA also, because, you know, you could go everywhere here. The mountains, the beach.
In one day.
In
you
one
could
day.
do it all.
In one day. Yeah, I love being outside. So, you know, in all likelihood, you know, I love that we have so many places we can go take a walk, take a hike. Of course, you know, I live right by the park, Elysian Park, which I just love. So many places to just get outside, enjoy.
When was the last time you were on one of the little boats, one of the new doves at Echo Park Lake?
When my grandkids were here pre-pandemic, I have to say. I haven't been, you know, it's been hard during the pandemic, obviously, just to get some free time. So yeah, one of my loves is really that you can be outside. I love going to the beach. And the other love is my family. And, you know, I have grandchildren, so, you know, any time I can spend with my grandchildren is just precious and, you know, unforgettable.
Do they see you as Dr. Barbara Ferrer?
No.
Do they see you as Abuelita?
Abuelita. Yeah, no. Every so often we're, you know, my grandkids live in New Mexico, but my family's been great about coming because I haven't been able to leave a lot. So they've been great about coming here. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, when we're out and about, people will stop to talk to me, and you know, they're just
Do they recognize you, or they say, like, you look like somebody I know?
Sometimes the people are just like, you look just like esa doctora. So,
and do you tell them, oh, I get that a lot, or?
Oh,
or
it's
you know,
me. Yeah, I just still say yes. It's me, and people are super kind, and but I think that is the only, you know, sort of way my grandchildren know that there's something even that's been going on. I think they, you know, I think they appreciate how much lives have changed during the pandemic, but they've changed for my grandkids as well, you know. My grandson was, you know, did kindergarten online.
Oh, wow.
You know, which, you know, again, 5-year-olds online. Everybody knows what that was like. So, you know, I think everybody has experienced this pandemic and the hardships and challenges. And, you know, I just feel very blessed that, you know, my family is doing okay, and I'm, you know, my heart goes out to all of the people who have really suffered, lost people who they love to this pandemic, and or even just struggling themselves, got sick, have long COVID, and you know, for me, I feel like the blessings are that we live in a country that's resource rich, and that we have some tools, and we can continue to use those tools to take care of each other.
Right. When you bring up your grandkids, it reminds me of how impressionable young people are, children are. So I'm going to ask you a two-part question. What advice would you give young women in general? It's a tough world out there, and you have certainly been at the forefront of a lot of whatever that looks like amid the last 2 years, whether it's praise or criticism or indifference or just, I sometimes wake up and I question, you know, and I have to give myself a pep talk that I'm going to be okay, that I'm doing the right thing despite, you know, what it looks like. What advice would you give young women?
I think the most important you know, thing that has like sustained me through both COVID but through a whole bunch of other challenges in my life has been the fact that I've never felt alone, and I've always been able to rely on having friends, family, mentors, other people that can help me. I don't think there's much we can accomplish by ourselves. And sometimes I think, you know, in trying to be strong all of the time, we really deprive ourselves of the kind of support that's actually both helpful to, as you said, keep us going during the tough times. But also I think I've gotten such wise counsel from other people. So I don't know how to make it without that level of support. I've also had a lot of second chances, third chances, fourth chances. You know, I'm not a person that, you know, is this like huge success story. I've had lots of issues and challenges from when I was younger, but I had people who loved me and who helped take care of me, and who, you know, when things weren't going well, could say, so that I wasn't by myself saying, you know, you're okay, you're going to be okay. Who could say to me, you're okay, you're going to be okay, and I'm here for you. So I think for everybody, find those people that are going to help care for you. And if you're surrounded by people who don't care for you, find some other people.
Ooh, that's real talk. If you were writing a letter to your 13-year-old self, what would it say?
Oh, I was a mess at 13.
Weren't we all? We're all kind of, you know.
Yes. I don't know. You know, I would probably tell myself 3 things. One is, you've got to believe in yourself. And you've got to not let false narratives about who you are control what you're doing. The second thing I would say is, I would tell myself, you know, you are a person with a lot of passions. Use that passion to do good. And if you do that, you're going to be okay. And the third thing I would say to myself is, don't be so hard. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on others. You know, the world throws us lots of challenges. And you have to show grace to yourself and show grace to others to get through the hard times.
Yeah. Oh, that's so important. I'm going to write those down for myself and tell myself those things.
I tell myself those things.
Every day, you have to. I love the part about giving yourself grace.
Yeah,
we all have an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, we do, and we're all inherently good people. So, and you know, you can make mistakes, but you can recover.
When I'm having a difficult day, I turn to music. I know you're a big music lover.
Yes.
So what is the song or album that inspires you the most, that gets you moving, that gets you going, that...
I think the song is Mark Anthony's Vivir Mi Vida.
Oh,
I
that's
just
so
love
good.
that song.
Da,
So yes,
da, da,
that's
da,
right.
da, da, da.
Vivir mi vida.
La 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 la. Music is just so pivotal in our lives, right? I heard I'll share with you something that I saw on a meme that was really just beautiful. The meme said, birds chirp in the morning and they sing to wake themselves up, to remind themselves and tell each other, we're still alive, we're still here. And human beings create music to remind ourselves we are still here. Isn't that beautiful?
That's beautiful.
Get chills just thinking about it. Well, again, we just want to thank you and honor you for all the work that you've done in the last 2 years amid pandemic, but really your career overall in terms of, how do we use science as a way to help people? How do we make sure that the lives and health of everyday people are prioritized when it comes to our society? For me, I look at it like our California state budget is a reflection of our values. The work that we do in the state legislature is reflective of the people that we represent. And so being from LA County, being in Angelina, my parents fell in love in Echo Park, at Echo Park Lake. So this community is important and it means a lot. So again, we just want to thank you and honor you. And we have rapid fire questions for Dr. Ferrer. So we're going to get into it. Let's see. Favorite food? No thoughts.
Tostones.
Tostones.
Tostones, Puerto Rican. Tostones.
All right, well.
Plantains, anything plantains, pero tostones in particular.
Puerto Rico in the mind then. Bad Bunny or J Balvin?
Bad Bunny.
El Conejo Malo, Dr. Ferrer. Texting or talking?
Talking.
Talking.
I'm old.
No, pick up the phone. Invisibility or super strength?
Super strength.
That's Wonder Woman answer. LA Galaxy or LAFC?
LAFC.
LAFC?
LAFC. My favorite team.
How about this one? Dodgers or Red Sox?
Oh, Dodgers for sure.
Okay.
Everyone knows that.
Okay. I mean, it's right here.
I had to switch. And I love the Dodgers.
I
love the Dodgers and I love the stadium.
Or we would be taking this recognition away if it would have been.
No,
just kidding. No.
Those Dodgers.
Best place you've traveled to?
Well, that's hard, but I'd probably say Costa Rica.
I haven't been.
Oh my God.
Pura vida. I gotta go.
And it's a beautiful country with amazing people and amazing things to do outside.
Thank you. See?
Some people.
Here we go. On behalf of the California Legislative Women's Caucus and our Assembly District, I'd like to recognize you for your outstanding service and dedication to the people of the state of California and to the close to 11 million people that call LA County home. Thank you for all of the work that you've done, that you will continue to do, for your dedication and commitment to saving lives. So,
muchas gracias.
Thank you.
And I share this beautiful award with you and all of the other women leaders in California, and particularly here in Los Angeles. There's nothing I do by myself, and I feel so supported here in LA County with the amazing leadership that we have with our elected officials. So this is right back at you.
Oh no, thank you. But thank really, honestly, this is the Minerva presentation to you on behalf of the Women's Caucus. As we celebrate Women's History Month every month, as we celebrate Women's History Month every year, we recognize the incredible women across our community that every day wake up simply to help those most in need. And I know the last 2 years have been difficult, and so no one else other than you came to mind in terms of what that really truly represents for our community. So thank you again, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, and this is for you.
It's beautiful. Thank you. I will feel honored every day when I look at this, and also just feel so grateful. that I'm part of this amazing community.
Thank you. So we are ending our interview here at Reggie's Deli in Echo Park, home to Dr. Ferrer, as we honor her for our 2022 California Legislative Women's Caucus Woman of the Year in her role in managing the entire LA County Department of Public Health, and for all of her work and commitment and dedication to saving lives. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Thank you. This is so beautiful.